We now welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Diane Herron, Herron Community College.
Assalamu alaikum. I thank you once again for honoring me with a request to speak today on this most joyous of days, the celebration of the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. An event in Muslim history provided me with a beautiful example of what binds Muslims and Christians together. And I'm sure you know of this event, but it was new to me since my last visit with you. I've been reading a great deal about the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and the history of Islam. And this event inspires me today to be a different Christian. In 615, the Muslims of Mecca fled the persecution of the polytheistic majority Quraysh tribe and threw themselves upon the mercy of the king of Abyssinia, a Christian known for his fairness and respect for all faiths. The Quraysh followed the Muslims, hoping to persuade the Christian king to reject the Muslims' plea so they would have to return to Mecca and remain under Quraysh control. Jafar ibn Abi Talib was chosen to represent the Muslims' cause. He explained to the king that the polytheistic Quraysh were persecuting the Muslims for their faith in one God. Jafar asked the king to grant them refuge on the basis that Christians and Muslims shared many points of belief. Jafar recited for the king the revelation from the Holy Quran that makes clear the importance of Jesus and his mother Mary to Islam. The king was so moved by the beauty of the Holy Quran's language and the explanation Jafar provided, he declared the Muslim revelation God-given. The king, wanting to know more, asked Jafar to tell him more about the prophet's revelations concerning Jesus. Hearing this request, the Quraysh waited in hopeful anticipation for Jafar to continue. They thought that once Jafar revealed that Muslims do not believe that Jesus is God himself, nor that he was begotten by God, the king would be insulted and force the Muslims to return to Mecca. Jafar responded honestly to the king's request. He told the king, "Our prophet has taught us that Jesus is God's servant, his messenger, his spirit, his word that he has breathed into Mary, the Holy Virgin." When he finished, the Muslims and the Quraysh waited for the king to respond. After some reflection, the king told the group that the revelation reflected the beliefs of Christianity. He told all present that he would grant the Muslims a home in Abyssinia. They were welcome, and he would protect them. Some Christians hearing this story might believe that the king of Abyssinia had a weak mind and faith. They might say he could not summon the intellect nor the spiritual muscle to press the Muslims on the significant differences between Christianity and Islam. I would argue that the king's decision revealed he was a wise and good Christian. He had before him 100 members of a religious minority seeking asylum from a powerful and oppressive majority group. The king would have known that the Quraysh would do whatever it took to protect their power in Mecca. They would want the Muslims returned to Mecca so they could stamp them out. The king knew no good would come from denying the Muslims asylum. I believe that God spoke to the king when he was reflecting on the prophet's revelations about Jesus, and he helped him see what was truly important. I believe the king may have heard words like these in his heart. "Will your fear and pride cloud the truth of what you see before you? Will you hand these 100 people over to those who would persecute them for loving one God? Will you allow them to die simply because they love me? Honor me. Protect them." The king of Abyssinia knew then what we here know now. The differences between our faiths are real. No one here denies that. But we are called as believers to emulate the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and men like the king of Abyssinia by claiming one another as brothers and sisters in faith in spite of our differences. There are those that condemn me for my words today. They would tell me I have a weak mind and faith for calling you a part of my spiritual family. In response to those who would have me reject you, in the name of Christianity, I say this: I am called as a Christian to denounce the fear, hate, and ignorance that would have me deny who you are to me. My faith and love of God empowers me to call you family. People for whose well-being I am responsible and to whose fate my fate is tied. As Muslims, you have always known me as your sister. The Holy Quran makes that relationship clear. I, on the other hand, have just begun to understand the profound possibilities and responsibilities inherent in sharing my spiritual destiny with you. Today, I ask all Christians to learn about these possibilities with me, to start by learning what beliefs and experiences bind Christians and Muslims together. In doing so, I believe we will come to a deeper understanding of the love of God, the Almighty, the one who erases all differences by calling each of us his sons and daughters. Peace and blessings be upon the prophet whose life has brought us together today. And thanks be to God for making it possible for me to see you for who you truly are in God's eyes. My teachers, my family, my loved ones. God bless and keep us all in our efforts to honor each other and to work together for peace and justice. Thank you.
Welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Bashir Abdul.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters.